Savvy, you've been quiet a long time.
Tonto, I've been enjoying the country, thinking how lucky we are to be here. It's a great heritage, isn't it? Makes you realize how the poet felt when he wrote, I love thy rocks and rills, thy woods and templed hills.
Drop your guns. I said drop them.
What's this all about, mister?
Just drop the guns and ride. You can get them back in 2 days from the Tallman City Post Office.
I'll circle and get behind you. Easy now, mister. Easy. You better come over here and sit down. What's the meaning of this, Mr.
Dubs. Walter Dubs. Are you outlaws?
No more than you are.
This mask is on the side of the law and always will be. I'm the Lone Ranger, and this is my Indian friend, Tonto.
I've heard of you. I'm awful sorry, mister, for everything. But mostly I'm sorry about Hannah's harp.
Harp?
Yeah, it's the only thing that Hannah ever really wanted. Kind of a dream it was ever since she was a little girl, listening to her aunt play one.
Hannah, your wife?
Uh-huh. Just the other day, I was watching her sitting in a chair and sewing, and thinking how beautiful she was, and how good a wife she'd always been to me.
What you dreaming about, Farmer?
About the farmer's wife. How lucky he is to have her.
You're lucky. Why, Walter, a man like you could have had any woman he wanted.
Haven't given you much.
Never wanted. Been fed and clothed and sheltered. And loved. Ain't a woman on earth could want for more than that.
That's how Hannah was. She made a man feel 10 feet high. But for 15 years, I'd been saving. And now, with her birthday just 2 months off, I had enough to buy her dream. But I didn't have no money to pay the freight. So I told Hannah I was going to drive to St. Louis on business. Things went fine until I'd gone about 200 miles and was getting near Tallman City.
Hey! Hey, you wild Indians! There's a wagon train! Come on, let's attack! Get out of here, you crazy little maggot! Heap sorry, Paleface. We Indians were just funning.
Funnin'? You young good-for-nothing.
Hey, look what I found.
You give that back, that's mine.
Oh, don't be stupid. We found it and we're gonna keep it.
Why don't you give the old geezer back his money, Wes? We don't need it no how.
You're getting soft, Hacker. He's gonna pay me for this. Nobody whips a Tallman. All right, all of you, let's go. The drinks are on the old man.
I had no gun, so all I could do was watch him ride off with the money for Hannah's harp.
So you try to take our guns?
Mr. Dubs, this is something for the law to handle. I think we'd better ride in and have a talk with the sheriff.
I guess I was kind of sudden. Kind of childish, too, but I tell you one thing for certain. I'm gonna get that money back, one way or the other. And that's the way it was, Sheriff.
Description's easy. It was Wes Tallman and a bunch of the Diamond T Punchers.
Then let's get after him.
Now, Mr. Dobbs, we don't want to cause any trouble over a little prank, do we?
Prank?
You mean robbery and assault, Sheriff?
Now, see here. I can't accuse Reese Tallman's son of that just on this man's say-so.
Sheriff, I knew Tallman owned this town, but I didn't know he owned you, too.
Men have died for talk like that.
I'm well aware of that, Sheriff. Mr. Dobbs came here for justice. You're the law in this town. Your duty is clear.
All right, all right. We'll ride out and see Tallman if that's what you want.
It certainly is. I want you to stay in town. Find out all you can about Wes Tallman, where he's been and what he's done today.
May do that, Commissioner.
Wes is a little high-spirited, Sheriff. You know that. But he likes his fun.
Sure, Mr. Tallman, I know.
Maybe I've given him a little too much rein since his mother died. But a man's like that with his only son.
That don't settle a thing.
No. No, of course not. Well, let me see now. Wagon's worth about $20. Suppose we call it $50 to settle things.
Call it 300.
Now, Mr. Dobbs. I know I'm a rich man, but don't get greedy.
10 for the wagon, 5 for the produce, and 285 in cash, what he stole from me.
My son doesn't steal.
Mister, he stole my purse.
You're a liar, Mr. Dobbs. But then maybe it's worth it to get rid
You
of
mean to keep that thieving son of yours out of jail?
Easy, Dobbs.
No. You talked about justice. Well, good. Let's have some justice. I'm going to have your son arrested.
Get out, sodbuster.
Just a minute, Mr. Tallman. If he prefers charges, there's bound to be trouble.
Sheriff, get these trespassers off of my ranch and tell them that, right or wrong, nobody puts a Tallman in jail.
That true, Sheriff?
Well, as long as Mr. Tallman pays Mr. Dobbs, I see no
For the
reason.
wagon, not a cent more.
Mr. Tallman, I think we'd better have a talk with your son.
What about, Masked Man?
About the money for Hannah's harp, you little thief.
Me? Look, Dad, I'll admit we were horsing around a little, but well, surely you don't believe this.
Of course not.
Can't you see, Dad? He's just trying to bleed you a little bit.
Liar, tell the truth.
I'll tell the truth. Truth is that you're a grubby dirt farmer who never saw $5 in your whole life.
Liar! Liar!
Get a hold of yourself, Dobbs. You too, Tallman. Who do you think you are trying to take the law into your own hands?
I'll show you who I am. If you're not off this ranch in 5 minutes, I'll have you roped and dragged off. Are you all right, son?
He tried to kill me, Dad.
You saw it, Wirt. I want this old buzzard thrown in jail on a charge of attempted murder. Come along, son.
Murder?
Murder.
Look here, Sheriff.
Well, you saw it, too. He did try to kill Wes.
Well, he drove me to it. He beat me up. He stole my money. He lied.
This man is guilty of attempted murder. So is Tallman for trying to crack his skull with a gun.
Now, look here, mister. Reese Tallman swings a lot of weight around these parts. I'll have to take him in.
Very well, Sheriff. I can't interfere with the law. You can tell Reese Tallman for me. He'll never railroad this man to prison.
I'm gonna kill him.
You're going to stay right here until I can prove Wes Tallman's guilt.
I'll get out, and when I do...
Murder never solved anything. Now, you listen to me. I'm your friend. You said there was one man who objected to Wes Tallman taking your money. Did you hear his name?
Hacker. He called him Hacker. Now, will you leave me alone?
Kimasabi, restaurant man say Wes Tallman leave town this morning drunk and broke. He'll come back later with plenty money.
Good work, Tonto.
That's not proof. That's hearsay. You can't buck Reese Tallman without absolute proof.
And we'll get that proof. We're going to talk to an eyewitness. Come on, Tonto.
Corona, what did that Indian want? Come on, talk! What did he want? Saddle up and get a couple of the boys to follow us.
Kimasabi, Indian woman say hacker sent the line camp at Alkali Spring.
That's 30 miles away.
Him sent far as possible. Me think was Talman afraid him tell truth.
He's going to tell the truth, Tonto. Come on.
Pull up! All right, now throw out your guns. You're running a bad hunch, mister.
It doesn't matter if we ride on.
You're trespassing on Diamond T land. Now, the quickest way off is back the way you came.
We ride north.
No, Injun. You're wrong. You go back the way you came. Either in one piece or full of holes.
No point getting ourselves killed over an old farmer. Let's do what he says.
Who care about old farmer?
Now you're playing it smart. All right, now turn around and get moving.
Now, Tonto.
See that, mister? He missed. But I'll shoot your head off if you don't forget what you have in mind.
You're not scare us, boy.
We'll get Hacker and bring him back to testify against you.
No, mister. You get on your horse and go back the way you came. And if I ever see you on Diamond T land again, so help me, I'll bury you on it.
You'll see us. When you do, you'll be sorry you ever started anything you couldn't finish.
Your move.
Oh,
Still thinking about your wife?
we don't have no relatives. What's she gonna do without me? Who'll take care of her? It's all that West Tallman's fault. I'll kill him.
Take it easy, Dubs. You'll get a fair trial.
It's him that ought to be tried, not me.
Stop brooding on it. Want some coffee?
Oh, I got some in my eye.
Here, let me see. Huh. I don't see nothing.
See this, can't you?
Now take it easy, Dubs. Take it easy. Mister, get me out of here. He's escaped. Dubs escaped. He tricked me, stole my gun.
Where key?
On the desk.
You know which way he went?
North with the sound of the horse's hoofs towards the Talman ranch. He's got a rifle with him. I gotta warn Reese Talman the old man's gunning for his son.
If you tell him that, he'll have 50 riders out to gun the old man down in his tracks.
It's my duty to warn him. Open the cell.
What do we do, Kimasabi?
We've got to find Dubs before Tallman finds him, or before he finds Tallman. Either way, it'll be cold-blooded murder. Come on, Tonto.
Him leave trail here, Kimasabi, and go up trail.
There's a lot of hoof prints here.
Now, that wagon horse wear big shoes. Him plenty heavy and slow, too. We catch up pretty soon.
Dubs is armed and desperate. If we want to save his life, we have to trick him into giving himself up. I'll explain it to you as we ride.
Dubs! It's me, the ranger.
Stay where you are.
I've come to help you. You're on Tallman's land. They'll gun us both down if they find us.
Get back.
Listen. You hear that?
Oh, no. You tricked
trick me.
I had to, Dubs. By now, the whole Talman outfit is gunning for you.
What's the use? There ain't no justice, and I'm getting too old to fight.
You're fighting it the wrong way.
And you give up wrong way, too.
There is such a thing as justice. We're going to get it for you.
But not at point of gun.
All right, take me back. Take me back.
Good. That's what I wanted to hear you say. Tano, how long will it take you to ride to Alkali Springs and bring Hacker back?
One day, if him talk.
He'll talk. That's why they sent him away. They're afraid he'll talk.
Who cares? I don't. It's not for me. It's for Hannah. Poor Hannah.
You not worry, mister. You not go to prison. And your Hannah, she get her harp yet. You see.
The Indian cares. He really cares.
Of course he does. All good men care when they see injustice done.
We've waited long enough. Order. I now declare this court in session. Bring in the prisoner.
Coming up, Your Honor.
Just a minute, Judge. Give me one more hour. What difference can it make?
You're out of order, mister. You said you'd have the witness here by sundown. All right, Dubs. You're charged with the vicious offense of felonious assault on the person of West Talman. Now tell me, do you plead guilty or not guilty?
Well, Oh, guilty, I guess.
No, Dubs. You're innocent until proven guilty.
One more word out of you and I'll hold you in contempt. As judge of this court, the power vested in me, I hereby sentence you to...
I told you, Judge, my friend would be here.
Ah, me bring witness. Him say him see West Talman take money.
You did, Hacker?
I sure did, Judge.
It's a lie. Hacker's a bare-faced liar.
Am I? Take a look at his face. Ask him why he sent me into Alkali Springs when I told him I wouldn't lie for him.
No, Dad. Don't believe him. Then why did you run away?
Because it's true, Mr. Talman.
True?
Arrest him, Wirt.
Stand back! No one arrests Talman. Talman. You young whelp!
Don't move anyone. He'll shoot. Come on, Tonto.
Give up! A Talman never gives up!
All right, Wes. On your feet.
Ah, you cut now, boy. You catch yourself when you lie about Dubs.
Think it over, son. You bought your own ticket to prison with the money you stole from Mr. Dubs. On your way.
Oh, Walter, this is the most wonderful birthday surprise. I haven't had a birthday party since I was a little girl.
Well, reckon it's about time I fetched your present, Hannah. Tonto?
Present, too? Oh, I'm afraid he spoils me terrible sometimes. He thinks I don't know. Bet she brought me back a fancy handkerchief from St. Louis. He never forgets me.
Happy birthday, dear.
Happy birthday, Hannah.
Walter Dubs.
It's real, Hannah. It's real.
Real? A real heart. Oh, Walter.
I knowed it. I knowed she'd bawl.
From us, Hannah, happy birthday.
Oh, look, there's writing in it. It says, Happy Birthday, Hannah, from Tonto and the Lone Ranger. Hail Silver! Away!
The Lone Ranger.
Hail Silver!
A fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty Hi-Yo Silver. The Lone Ranger.
Tonto, it looks as if we're in time for the celebration.
This big day for Americans, Kimasabi.
February the 12th, Lincoln's birthday. Gettysburg Address will be given by Phil Beach. Phil Beach?
Me remember him, Kimasabi. Him plenty bad.
Well, he's paid for his mistakes. According to this sign, it looks like he's changed.
Maybe, maybe not.
Come to think of it, I've heard he's married and living on the right side of the law.
Now that good if too, Kimasabi.
Let's look him up, see if he is.
No, Ann, I'm not going. Lincoln Day business is all right, but I've got too much on my mind.
But they're counting on you, Phil.
Darling, it's not really important. Not nearly as important as other things. Besides, I don't want to go alone.
You don't have to. I'm going with you.
But you can't, darling. You heard what the doctor said. He's been a sick girl, and you're not well yet.
Well, then go without me.
Maybe I will. But there's something else first.
Something else? What, Phil? Phil, are you going to see Dad? Phil, please, don't.
Do you think I'm looking forward to it? Looking forward to begging? Yeah. But there's just a chance, the old miser. Just a chance he might be decent enough to help his own daughter.
Phil, don't go. You know how he hates you, and you have such a temper, both of you.
Darling, I've got to try. I'm going down to the shop.
Hello, Phil.
Hello, Lefty.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, it has.
World treating you all right?
Not complaining.
Neither am I. We're making it treat us all right. Ain't we, Fingers?
Yeah.
Meet my new partner, Fingers Blake. My ex-partner, Phil Beach.
Real sociable, ain't he? Look, boys, if you want a meal and stay around a day or two, you're welcome. But if it's a job you're after...
A job? You're a funny man, Phil. Always was. You know, I remember the warden used to let us put on shows now and then. I was pretty good, but Phil here was the best of all. He used to recite and make funny turns. Act, like now.
Get to the point. What do you want?
Money. Could you use some?
I certainly could. But not your kind. No more easy money for me.
Are you sure, Phil? You know, the three of us could knock over that tin-pot bank and get out of town before the sheriff ever knew what was happening. We'd split the loot and Fingers would meet, keep right on going. They'd be looking for three men, Phil. Nobody'd link you up with it. Come on, Phil. Give us a little help. Even your wife won't know.
I'll give you help. Now get out of here. Get out quick.
All right. See you, Phil.
Mrs. Beach, please don't be afraid.
I'm not afraid. I know who you are. You're the Lone Ranger in Tonto.
Phil told you about us?
Yes. You sent him to prison.
Yes, ma'am, we did.
Because of that, you will not like us, maybe.
I'm grateful to you, and so is Phil. What you did straightened him out.
We're very glad you feel that way. Is Phil home? We'd like to say hello.
I wish he were. Right now, he's paying a call on my father, and I'm worried. I'm so worried.
If there's anything we could do, we'd like to help.
They hate each other so. I wonder, Would you do me a great favor? I mean, go there and see if everything's all right.
We'd be glad to.
Dad's ranch is about 2 miles from here. Just follow the road going north. Can't miss it.
Yes, ma'am. Come on, Tonto.
Thank you very much.
Figures. Look there.
It's the Lone Ranger and his engine sidekick.
When those two go under, we'll all breathe easy.
Just make sure you don't miss, because I don't want to tangle with them two. Come on.
Let's get out of here. Fast. Look, Kimasabi, 2 men.
Let's find out who they are.
Now you tell us why you tried to kill us.
I'll tell you nothing.
Never mind, Tonto. He's one criminal who'll be out of circulation for a while. I think you'd better take him to the sheriff in Glen Springs.
And what about another fella?
And I'll try to pick up his trail. First, I've got to keep my promise to Phil's wife and find Phil.
You? Who told you come snooping around here? Ann?
Ann bade me not to come.
Well, that calls it snooping, so just snoop right on out of here.
I'm not leaving till I say what I came to say. Your daughter is sick, Mr. Hawkins, very sick. The doctor says she won't get well unless she can go away for 6 months, maybe a year.
What, she's your wife? Why don't you send her away?
You know, I don't have the money. The saddle shop isn't, well, it's just barely making expenses. If you want me the money, I'll pay it back, so help me. After all, it's for your own daughter.
I ain't got no money. I'm a poor man. Now, look, you done said you say, so get out of here.
Miser. You miserable skinflint.
Well, why should I help her? I told her not to marry you, you jailbird. Now, she'd have made a bed, let her lie in it. Hey, go on. Go on, hit an old man. That's all you good for. Now, get out of here.
Don't worry about this mask. It's on the side of the law. Was Phil Beach here to see you?
Yes?
Are you his father-in-law?
Yes, I am.
I'm glad to hear that. Your daughter was afraid you two might come to blows.
Well, 'tain't his fault we didn't. Dirty yellow cur.
What makes you feel so strongly against him?
Why, he's a thief and a jailbird. Ain't that enough? No, sir. He'll never get none of my money either. And Ann ain't going to get no money, darling. She's married to him.
Phil Beach paid for his crime. What have they done to make you feel so vindictive against them?
What have they done? She married him, didn't she? Against my will. Honor thy father and thy mother. That's what the Bible said, and she didn't do it. No, sir. And she ain't going to get none of my money either.
The Bible also says, the love of money is the root of all evil. You might give that some thought.
You still in town?
I am, but Fingers ain't. I could really use a partner now, Phil. You need money, you said so. Well, so do I. How about it, Phil? Just one little job, that's all. Just one little job. We'll never see each other again. We could knock that bank over easy tomorrow. It's closed today, account of Lincoln's birthday.
Lincoln's birthday?
Yeah, it's too bad, but then...
No, it's not too bad. We can't rob the bank, but... Lefty, we're about the same size, and our voices aren't too different. I've heard you recite. Suppose you could memorize that by 4:30 this afternoon?
What is it?
Lincoln's Gettysburg Address.
Pretty short. Sure I can learn it. Why?
Now, if you'll recite it dressed as Lincoln this afternoon, I'll give you $500.
$500?
Will you do?
Man, you just got yourself a reciter.
I'm very grateful to you. Phil, I'm so glad you're back. Here's an old friend of yours dropped in out of the blue.
The Lone Ranger.
Phil, it's good to see you again. I hope you feel the same.
Well, of course, I'm tickled to death. I was just surprised, that's all. I never expected to see you or anyone connected with the law anywhere within miles from here.
I thought I'd like to hear you give the Gettysburg Address.
Oh, you shouldn't have bothered. I don't do it that well.
That's not so, Phil. You do it wonderfully. Everybody says so.
Your neighbors think a great deal of you. I'm proud of you, Phil.
I've got to get ready. Excuse me, please?
Of course.
Wait till you see his costume. It's perfect.
He's made quite a study of Lincoln, hasn't he?
Oh, yes. He's worshipped Lincoln for years.
Mrs. Beach, with a hero like that, he certainly can't go wrong.
77 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation.
Phil, are you going to take all day?
You right there. Phil, if I didn't know it was you, I wouldn't believe it.
Sometimes I don't believe it either.
I don't look much like Lincoln, but I certainly don't look too much like myself, do I?
You certainly don't.
Phil, it's almost time that you were going. You and the Ranger can ride into town together.
All right. That's fine.
I'm afraid I'll have to go on ahead. I want to have a talk with Sheriff Trumbull before the festivities start. But I'll be on hand for your Gettysburg Address. I hope we meet again, Mrs. Beach.
I hope so, too. Darling, why don't you take me with you in the buckboard?
No.
But I'm feeling better. Really, I know I could go.
I said no. I don't want you there.
Why not?
Because it would be too much of a tax on your strength, that's why. Please, now, let's not argue about it.
All right. What are you looking for?
Spirit gone from my beard.
Well, it seems to be staying on quite well.
I know, but I want some in case of an emergency. Oh, here it is. Bye, darling. See you as soon as it's over.
You sure this thing won't come off, eh?
It won't. I just put some more spirit gun on it. Now, you know what to do.
Yeah.
All right, I'll meet you here and have the money.
Where are you going?
Never mind. Now, 5 minutes after I leave, you go out and mingle with the townspeople until you get the Gettysburg Address.
Yeah, you was right about that hombre that tried to kill you. Got word from Tucson. He's wanted there for armed robbery and murder.
We do good job, Kimasabi.
You sure did.
Sheriff, there was one man who got away. I'd give a lot to know what happened to him.
Well, listen, you're introducing Phil Beach. You want to hear him give the Gettysburg Address?
I wouldn't miss it for the world.
77 years ago.
Phil sure looks the part, don't he?
Our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal.
No, one's enough.
Why, you thief, you stick it out of here, stealing my money. You won't get away with it, you won't, I tell the sheriff.
Where have you been? I've been waiting here ever since I finished the speech.
Come on, get out of those clothes. I got to get out there and mingle with the crowd.
Mrs. Bates, you just get to town?
Yes. Well, I'm certainly glad to see both of you again.
Too bad you missed Phil's performance. He did a fine job.
He did? Oh, dear. And I thought I'd come in to surprise him.
Well, you missed all the speeches, but the day's just beginning. They're going to start the fireworks pretty soon. Say, why don't you come in the office and sit and rest a spell, Mrs. Beach?
Why, thank you. I believe I will.
All right. Now, where's the 500?
Right here.
Hey, you got quite a haul there.
I've got good use for it, too.
I got better use for it. Hand it over. All of it.
Sorry we can't stay and say goodbye to Phil, Mrs. Beach. But Tonto and I'd better start looking for that other criminal, Blake's pal. We'll leave by the back door.
All right, mister.
I wonder where Phil is now.
Oh, he's outside someplace. Come on, I'll help you look for him.
Sheriff! 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 Sheriff, I done just been robbed by that jailbird, Phil Beach.
Father, that's not
Well,
so.
what do you mean? You defend him? Why, I saw him.
Now, hold on a minute, Hawkins.
Why, you jailbird? You saw where I put my money a while ago. I caught you stealing it.
What are you talking about? I've been right here all this afternoon.
Why, sure, the whole town saw him give the Gettysburg Address.
Why, he was still size, but just like him. And I followed him all the way to town. I know he took it.
Did you see his face?
Well, he had a handkerchief around it.
Well, did you or didn't you?
Well, I don't know.
Hawkins, a masked man robs you. And the first thing you do is put the blame on your son-in-law. It's a good thing he's got an alibi. My deputy says he just saw a stranger riding out of town like the devil was after him. I'm going to form up a posse. Phil, get your horse. Meet me here in 5 minutes.
I don't know. I'm telling you the truth.
Come on, Tonto.
Blame.
Many footprints, Kimasabi. Can't tell which way they go.
Come on.
Kimasabi, look.
Here's your robber.
Him not rob anymore.
Recognize him, Tonto?
Face familiar.
Left him alone, the bank robber.
Well, that's right, Kimasabi.
Well, here's the money he stole from Hawkins. Give it back to him.
You give it to him, Phil.
All right. Thanks. It's your money, Mr. Hawkins.
Well, I guess I was wrong when I said you took it. Thank you.
Phil.
Yes?
Why don't you give us Lincoln's address again? Just as you did before.
All right. Fourscore and 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty, and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we're engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation, or any nation so dedicated and so conceived, that we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth.
Those were fine words, Phil. Quoting a fine man, Abraham Lincoln.
You know, don't you?
The man who made the speech before made gestures with his left hand. You just made yours with your right hand. Lefty couldn't have known where Mr. Hawkins had hidden the money. But you did.
You're right, Mr. Hawkins. I took your money. But I had to have it.
I'm glad you told them, Phil. I'm proud.
Hawkins, we all know why Phil took the money. But he's broken the law, and he must pay the penalty.
Well, Mr. Hawkins, do you still think your son is a no-good jailbird? Or can you see him as the man he is? A man worthy of your help.
Phil, Ann and I are going to be gone about 6 months till she gets well. I think we all ought to be back together again. Maybe you can use a partner in that saddle shop. How does that sound to you, too? hey, where in tarnation did that masked man go?
He's gone, Dad. He never stays around once his work is done. He's the best friend we've ever had. He's the Lone Ranger.
Hail Silver! Away!
Captain Stephen Davis, United States Cavalry, at your service, sir.
Howdy, Captain.
You're from the Gold Creek settlement, traveling to Denton?
Sure am. I got a parcel of gold dust there, too. Hey, what's foot?
Well, there have been numerous robberies on this trail, sir. My men and I have been assigned to escort you in.
Oh, now that's real nice. Glad to have you Army boys along.
Oh, it's our pleasure, sir.
What's the trouble, Captain?
No trouble, my friend. I just think this is a likely spot to relieve you of that gold dust you're carrying.
Hey, you just hold on there.
Joe!
Hurry it up, gentlemen.
Miss Annie.
Brother Davis, hold up. Come on. Come on, let's get out of here.
All I know is he calls himself Captain Davis.
It's hard to believe that our old friend Captain Davis can be responsible for these crimes.
But Tommy say him leave, not come back.
Which makes him a deserter. Even harder to understand, knowing the way he felt about the Army and the love he has for his family.
Many strange things happen, Kimasabi. Maybe him change.
Yes, it looks that way.
You feel all right for drive to Denton?
Oh, sure. What am I going to do when I get there? I'm all cleaned out.
Oh, you'll find work. I've some silver in my saddlebag that should tide you over until you do.
Oh, thanks, mister. Say, who are you, anyway? Who can I thank?
Him, friend.
Someone who's going to run down Captain Davis and get your money back for you for the last thing he ever does.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any word, sir, about my father?
No, Tim. Sorry.
Colonel Strickland?
At ease, Phillips.
Captain Davis again, sir. Another robbery. That makes number 5. They've stolen almost $10,000 in gold already, sir.
Can't understand it. He was one of my best officers. Why? Why did a man with 15 years of good Army service behind him turn outlaw?
We'll know the answer to that, sir, when we've captured him.
Yes, I'll follow up on that, Phillips.
Colonel, the captain's son's outside. What shall I tell him?
I'll talk to him in a few minutes. He's taking it pretty hard, isn't he?
Yes, sir.
That's the worst part of all this. What it's doing to Davis's family. That's all, Phillips.
Yes.
What did the colonel say? Has he heard from my father?
The colonel will be out in a minute, Tim. You better ask him.
What do you keep asking everybody for, Tim? You ain't gonna see your dad no more. I am so. Are not. You just wait. When my father comes back, he'll prove he didn't do all those things. My pop says when they bring Captain Davis back, it'll be at the end of a rope. What does your father know about it? He's only a lieutenant. Well, at least my dad isn't a coward and a deserter, too. You take that back.
Jimmy, Tim, stop it, both of you. Attention. Fine way for a couple of soldiers to act. Now, what's it all about, Jimmy?
He started, Colonel. He picked a fight for no reason at all. There was so a reason. Well, maybe I said something about his dad, but golly, Colonel, everybody at the fort knows that Tim's dad's a criminal now.
You better go to your quarters, Jimmy.
But, sir...
Go ahead, son. It's an order.
Yes, sir.
Now, what are you doing here at headquarters anyway, Tim? I told your mother I'd let her know the minute I had something definite. Now, you better go on home.
You don't believe it, do you, Colonel? You know my father isn't an outlaw, don't you?
Well, we'll talk about it later, son.
Why can't we talk about it now? You don't think he deserted, do you?
I don't know, Tim. I just don't know.
Tim?
I'll be out in a minute, Mom.
Now, Tim, come here. What happened?
Nothing, Mom. I fell down.
You've been fighting, haven't you?
Wasn't anything, Mom, really.
Tim, you and I have never had any secrets. Was it about your father? You haven't forgotten what your father said about fighting, have you?
He said if there was a good reason, if the fella knew he was right.
Yes?
I don't care what anybody says, they're all wrong. Dad's not what they say he is.
Tim, I'm so mixed up. I'm sorry.
Don't cry, Mom. He'll come back. Everything's gonna be all right.
If there was some way we knew, some way to talk to him and see him.
Please, Mom.
Better go wash your face. I've got to finish this mending. If there was some way we knew, some way to talk to him, to see him.
You rode hard, Tonto. What did you learn at the Gold Creek settlement?
The trouble, Kimasabi. Miners plenty angry about robbery. Them blame Army.
They're wrong. The Army's doing everything in its power to bring those men to justice, just as we are.
But maybe Army not like us to interfere.
It's every man's duty, in uniform or out of uniform, to help this government of ours bring its enemies to justice. Tonto, we've got to make the West a place where decent men and women can live in safety and in peace. Hold it, Tonto. It's only a boy. What are you doing here, son?
Nothing. I was looking for a place to sleep.
Where do you live? Don't be frightened. We won't harm you.
But your mask.
This mask stands for justice. Tonto and I work on the side of the law.
You wear Army uniform. You from Fort Brady?
Yes, sir. I was on my way to Gold Creek.
That's quite a trip for a young fellow. You must have a good reason.
I have. I'm trying to find my father.
You son of Captain Davis?
Yes. My name's Tim. How did you know?
Tim, we knew your father a long time ago when you were very young.
Well, then maybe you can help me. Just got to find him. Everybody thinks she's done something awful.
Yes, we've heard.
But he didn't do it. I just know. Something's happened to him.
Tim, that's a job for the law. If anything has happened to your father, Tano and I'll find him. I promise.
But I want to help.
Is your mother back at the fort?
Yes, sir.
She know you run away?
I left her a note. She'll understand.
Well, Tim, you're the man of the house now, at least for a while. It's your job to look after your mother.
Yes, sir, but please, I've just got to find my father. He needs me.
Sorry, Tim. It won't work. You have to go back.
You have horse?
Yes, he's over there.
I'll get it, Tano. You get Silver and Scout, and then we'll head for Fort Brady.
Tim, you stay here.
Not have chance, Kimasabi.
Now they've added murder to their crimes. We can't delay any longer, Tano.
What we do?
Well, I have a plan. But our first concern is young Tim. I want you to take him to the Gold Creek settlement. See to his safety. Then go to the livery stable, rent a wagon and a horse, and meet me.
Oh, this wagon costs more than anything I ever heard of.
Gold strike make all miners rich, Tim. Everything in Gold Town costs plenty gold. You remember what masked man tell you?
Yes?
We send for army men. Him take you to fort.
Yes, sir.
You go into stable now. Him take care of you till the time to leave.
I will, Tonto.
Kimasabi, you even fool me. You look like miner from Gold Creek.
Hope the outlaws think the same, Injun.
Everything ready?
Me follow on Silver and Scout.
Good. I'll keep on the road. You go along the ridge. When I signal, come fast.
There comes the wagon.
Ho, Brody, Geraldine.
Afternoon, sir.
Howdy, boys.
Are you traveling alone?
Yep,
You must be from Gold Creek.
that's right. That's where I make my home. Take my week's earnings to the bank in Denton.
Well, we're from Fort Brady. My men and I are assigned to patrol this road. There's been trouble lately.
Trouble, eh? Sure wouldn't want nothing to happen with me carrying all this gold dust back there.
Well, that's what I mean, sir. We'll escort you into Denton.
Well, no. That's mighty nice of you fellers. Much obliged.
Well, you just follow us, and we'll lead you through safely.
Lead on, son. Lead on. Up, boys. Here, Brody. Come on, here. Hey, what are you holding that six-shooter on me for?
From here on, we'll take over, mister.
Take over? What are you fellers talking about?
Get rid of that gun.
All right. I'm getting rid of it.
All right, now get that gold dust and hand it over. Maybe that'll clear things up for you. And make it fast.
All right. I'm going. You watch that six-gun. Oh, Brownie. Oh.
Come on. Maybe that'll move you along.
Tim.
Did you see him? Did you see him? That captain wasn't my father.
I know that, Tim. We could have captured them if you hadn't disobeyed orders.
I'm sorry, sir, but I just had to come along.
Boy here?
Yes, Tonto. That's why I couldn't give you the signal.
But him make promise, Kimasabi.
Yes, but I had my fingers crossed.
Well, that's a kid's trick, Tim. And men shouldn't act like kids. You made a promise, son. And promises are meant to be kept.
I'm sorry, sir. Honest. But now you know it isn't true about my father. Now we can prove it.
Yes, if we can track them down. We better get started right away. We'll leave the wagon here.
What about boy? Him can't drive wagon back.
We'll have to take him with us, Tonto. Tim, this is your chance to prove that you can be a real soldier like your father. You'll have to obey orders. Understand?
Yes, sir.
Good. You can ride with me.
Tracks lead to Rock Canyon. Miss Abby, look. We go after them?
No, it's too exposed. The real Captain Davis is in there. We can't take any chances.
But we've got to save him.
Easy, Tim. We have to have a plan of attack before we move in.
You soldier, Tim. You know that.
Yes, sir.
The horses put away?
Yeah.
Good. Yancey, go hitch up the buckboard and go down to the outpost for supplies.
Supplies? Well, we got plenty of supplies.
Not for where we're going, we haven't.
We're pulling out?
That's right.
But, boss, we got a good thing going here.
Exactly. Yancey, haven't you ever heard that a good thing never lasts?
What do we do with our army friend in the other room?
Well, I've got an accident arranged for the unfortunate Captain Davis. One that will leave him to take the blame for the robberies. But quite dead. We'll move on and pull the same scheme in another territory. I get going, Yancey.
Where you think him go, Kimasabi?
I don't know. But wherever it is, he'll be back. And then we'll get him.
Have you got a plan, masked man?
Yes, Tim, I have. And one I think will work.
What is this?
Never mind. Just start taking off that uniform.
Here comes Yancey.
It's about time. And go give him a hand with the supplies. Hey, what are you doing? You need a saber to carry groceries?
Force of habit, boss. I've been wearing this uniform so long, I keep forgetting I'm not a real soldier.
ask you once more. Where's Davis?
In the back room.
Take care of him, Tonto. You all right, Captain?
You're the last person I ever expected to see, my friend. How did you find me? I'd given up.
Tonto and I were quite certain of your innocence. And I think it was the fate of a small boy that really kept us going.
A boy?
Dad!
Tim, what on earth are you doing here?
I knew you weren't guilty, Dad. I knew it all the time. I just had to come after you to prove that they were wrong.
Should have stayed with your mother, son, but I'm very proud of you. Very proud.
We'll pack the gold out of the safe. Then we'll get started for the fort.
I wish we could thank you for all the things you've done.
Seeing you three together is all the thanks we need. Goodbye, Tim.
Goodbye, sir. And Tonto?
Take good care of him, Captain. He's a fine soldier. Adios.
Gosh, Dad. I never did find out who the masked man was.
He's one of the best friends the U.S. Army ever had, son. That's the Lone Ranger.
Entirely in many areas. To combat the growing threat of uncontrolled violence, private citizens organize themselves into groups known as committees of vigilance. These men, these vigilantes, acted as judge, jury, and executioner. And in time, like all men who take the law into their own hands, they grew to be feared and as hated as the very element they sought to destroy.
Vigilantes, they're after me.
Why?
They claim I was rustling cattle off at Turkenston Ranch. Ray Torgerson said he seen me.
Sam.
Well, I was near there, but I wasn't rustling, Amy. I was just riding by. I seen what was going on, so I beat it. I know it sounds crazy, but it's the truth. They're coming back.
All right, Sam, get out.
Amy.
I've got a 4-month-old baby in that back room, and I won't have a gunfight here. Now, you made your bed. You lie in it.
Yeah, you're right. It's never nobody else's problem, is it? All right.
Listen. There's room in the cellar.
No, Johnny wouldn't be right. I'm going out the back way.
We're looking for Sam Donald, John. Has he been here?
We haven't seen him, Mr. Bennett.
You sure of that?
All right, Torgerson. Take it easy. How about joining us, John, and helping us track him down?
My husband isn't the joining type.
Yes, ma'am. We know.
You don't think much of the vigilantes, do you, pal? Sounds like they got him.
Lucky he wasn't found here in the house. That would have made you accomplices, wouldn't it?
Who gave you the right to make the laws, Bennett? What's made you so almighty wise and pure?
John.
He's done for.
Fine. Well, I hope we didn't disturb the child, ma'am. A good day to you both.
Those dirty, rotten murderers.
Johnny, what are you going to do?
Never mind.
So I'm sending this letter to the Padre in hope that you will pick it up soon. Here in Blue River, the vigilantes have taken over entirely. They make their own laws and do their own punishing. I can't see where it'll end, but I'm beginning to be afraid now.
This John Stark came to me not know him.
Tonto, I met him 5 years ago when you were in Washington.
Sound like Blue River have bad problem.
Very bad, Tonto. But any organization that puts themselves above the law is bound to cause havoc.
Seems strange John Stark not trying to stop vigilantes himself.
Well, John's a fine man, but he's never been a public-spirited citizen. He and his wife have always tried to avoid trouble by turning away from it. They like to live quietly and stay in the background.
When trouble come up, Kimasabi, man have to face it.
Well, I'll talk to John about that. There's some truths a man must learn for himself.
And we go to Blue River, Kimasabi?
Yes, Tonto, as quickly as we can. Let's get mounted.
What is it, Mr. Torgerson?
I want to see Johnny.
He's in the barn.
Yeah. Hey, Johnny.
What do you want, Torgerson?
It's a fine way to agree to guess. What do you want, Torgerson?
You've been drinking. Get out.
Don't turn your back when I'm talking. It ain't polite. Tell you why I dropped in. I need $100. So I decided to start a protective league. That's the first month's dues, $100. I knew you'd want to be a member.
What do I get protected from? You?
No, not me particularly. You might call it protection against vigilante mistakes. Now, you take this Sam Donald business the other day.
What about Sam?
Well, sir, I went to Sam about a month ago. I asked him to join my little organization, but he turned me down.
Are you trying to tell me you set the vigilantes on Sam?
I thought I saw him at Turk Henderson's place. Maybe I did. But maybe I was mistaken.
Why, you filthy...
Watch it, friend. First thing you know, I won't let you join at all. And that might be real rough. You know, Bennett don't trust none of you guys that stick to yourselves, and it wouldn't take much to make him and his boys ride all over this place.
You're a murderer, Torgerson. You killed Sam Donald as sure as if you shot him yourself.
Maybe I just ought to let you have it right now, pal.
I think he's dead, Johnny.
Dead?
How did it happen?
I don't know. He pulled his gun. I grabbed it.
We're gonna have to get away from here. Well, Bennett to be sure to follow us.
Maybe I should just go straight to him, tell him what happened.
Go to Earl Bennett? The vigilantes act first and think afterwards. Or they'd hang you. And what had happened to me? What about the baby? What would his life be like growing up, hearing how his father was lynched for murder?
But it wasn't murder.
Can you prove that it wasn't? All right. Johnny, here's what we're gonna have to do. As soon as it gets dark, you get Torgerson's body back over to his own house. He lived alone, didn't he?
Yes.
As soon as Bennett finds him, he's gonna start questioning everybody around here. Now, when he comes to us, Johnny, you gotta swear you didn't do it. John, will you do that? You got to do it, do you understand?
Can't you be a little more quiet? You have to slam every door in the house like... I'm sorry, but it's this waiting. They must have found Torgerson by now. They've had all night and half the morning.
I know it's hard, darling, but if you just...
I think you know why we're here, Johnny. Ray Torgerson's dead. Doctor said he was killed sometime yesterday. Did you do it?
No, of course not.
We can account for his movements up until about dusk. We was wondering if you'd seen him around then.
No.
You're lying, Johnny. What do you want to lie like that for? Ray told us he was coming here.
Why don't you leave him alone? Can't you see he's telling you the truth?
No, ma'am. I certainly can't.
Johnny! Johnny! Johnny!
Stark, are you all right? What happened here?
The vigilantes have taken John.
John? Well, why?
They said he killed a man.
And did he?
No.
Fresh tracks be easy to follow, Kimasabi.
Oh, please go after him.
Come on, Tonto.
This'll do it. Bennett, please. What about my wife, my kid? Throw it.
I don't want any shooting if it can be avoided. We'll use the old gang trick.
You understand, Kimasabi? All right. Do not move.
Drop your guns. We haven't got a chance. Get off your horses, all of you.
Looks like we're surrounded. Do what the man says.
Get their guns, Tonto.
Mister, what can I say? How can I thank you?
All right, what do you want?
Justice?
Right now, you happen to be obstructing justice. Your friend is a murderer. He just killed a man named Ray Torgerson.
Is that true, John?
Do you really expect an honest answer? Naturally, he denies that he even saw Torgerson yesterday. But we happen to know that Torgerson stopped by his farm.
John Stark says he's innocent. I believe him.
Why should you?
Because I've known him for a number of years. I know what kind of a man he is.
Mister, you're still obstructing justice.
I doubt if any of you vigilantes know what that word means. However, we'll give you a chance to prove your good faith.
You'll give us a chance.
All we ask is that John Stark be held in a safe place until we can send for Marshal Gray in Rimrock. He'll investigate and decide whether Stark should be punished.
I don't take orders from a masked outlaw.
And there's no use arguing any longer.
What do you aim to do, mister?
We're taking Stark with us. Ready, Tonto?
Ready, Kimasabi.
I warn you not to follow.
It was a trick. There was only two of them. Come on.
What are we stopping here for, mister? They'll catch up with us, sure. They'll not catch up with me, see to that. Yeah, but if they...
Relax, John. We're safe enough for the moment. The important thing is to find a safe place for you while we clear you of this crime.
Me think his own house best place to hide him, Kimasabi. Vigilantes think Stark ran away, but then not expect him to return to his own house.
You're right, Tonto. You'd better go home. Now, where did Torgerson live?
What do you want to know that for?
I can't think of a better place to start looking than in Torgerson's own room, can you?
No. He lived on Miller Road. Last house where you come to the woods.
We'll contact you if we find out anything definite.
You're not worried. We find real murder before long. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure you will. It was almost over. The rope was around my neck when the masked man Tonto came along.
Don't worry now. It's going to be all right now.
No, it isn't going to be all right. They're going to investigate. They'll find out that Torgerson came here, that I shot him. They'll never believe it was an accident. Amy, I've got to hurry. I'm going to Mexico. I'll send for you and the baby later, and we'll move further west where nobody knows us. It's the only way.
Is it?
Amy, I'm no hero. I'm a human being. I don't want to die. What difference does it make who hangs me, the law or the vigilantes? The rope will cut just as tight. I'll strangle just as soon.
I'll pack you back.
Amy, you understand?
Yes. Oh, I think we did it wrong somewhere, Johnny. We made a mistake. Somewhere.
Me hide horses and back, Kimasabi.
Good. Torgerson wasn't very neat.
The room always tell what kind of man live inside. No sign of books, no newspapers, and no way to learn. This man must be foolish, stupid.
Unreliable, too. Look at the unpaid bills.
You think maybe him killed for money problems, Kimasabi?
Yeah, it's possible, Tonto. But the important thing is to find out where he was killed. Now, if we can prove that the vigilantes were lying when Torgerson visited Stark's farm yesterday, we'll have won half the battle.
Me notice track outside, maybe Torgerson's horse. Have notch in left front shoe. We follow it?
Good idea. After we search the place. Tonto. Apparently Torgerson kept a record. Entry made yesterday. John Stark. 6 p.m., $100.
But that not proof that Torgerson visits Stark Farm, Kimasabi.
That's right. I think we better follow those tracks you mentioned. Come on.
Trail leading to the barn, Kimasabi.
Been some kind of a struggle here, Tonto. Stark has tried to hide it, but he didn't do a very good job.
Kimasabi. Dried blood on straw. Looked like your friend had good reason to hold back truth.
There's never a good reason for that. Never.
I heard your horses. I knew you'd come back.
John killed Torgerson, didn't he, Mrs. Stark?
Yes. But it was an accident. He was just trying to take the gun away from Torgerson, just trying to protect himself.
Where's John now?
I won't tell you.
It's better for him to face court of law, Mrs. Stark. Him can't run from own crime forever.
But it was an accident, I tell you.
That's something for a judge and jury to decide.
Him go to Mexico, Mrs. Stark?
No. I mean, I don't know.
I'd better get started.
Please. Please let him go. You're his friend.
That's why I can't let him go. Because I'm his friend.
But the vigilantes are to blame, not John. The vigilantes.
And how did vigilantes get so much power?
Not through us. John never joined them.
Did John ever oppose them?
What?
A man can't stop evil just by turning away from it.
Whole idea of democracy built on citizens taking part in it.
Every one of us must fight injustice where he finds it. You can't enjoy the benefits of good government and make others assume its responsibilities. Can't you see that now, Mrs. Stark? Tonto, ride to Rimrock and get Marshal Gray.
You go after Stark alone, Kimasabi?
I'm sure he'll come peacefully once I catch up with him.
No, mister. No, you're wrong. He's too frightened. He'll kill you if you try to corner him.
Adios. Can't be far ahead now, big fellow. Come on. Came along here, Silver.
All right, Messman! I can't outrun you, so you come on ahead. You come right on ahead. All right, mister, that's far enough. I'm not going back with you. Nobody's hanging me for an accidental killing. Now, you turn around and make tracks out of here, I'll blast you. So help me. You out of your mind, mister? I warned you. I won't hang. I won't hang.
I'll take that gun, John.
You were right, mister. I couldn't kill you even to save myself.
I know that. And I know you couldn't have deliberately killed Torgerson. You're not a murderer. All I want you to do is to tell the truth in court.
I'm glad you came after me, mister.
You see, John, sooner or later we must face the truth. We have to make up our minds whether we're going to become men or something less. It's kind of a turning point. You've reached it. I'm proud of you, John.
Well, mister, shall we go?
What's taken them so long, Tonto? The jury must have reached a decision by now.
Sometime law move very slow, Mrs. Stark. You not worry. Trial will be over soon.
Maybe I should have gone to the courthouse, whether John wanted me to or not.
Amy, they called it self-defense. Not guilty, they said.
Oh, John.
The judge read Torgerson's diary. Even Earl Bennett admitted it was too easy for criminals and fanatics to get into an organization like the Vigilantes. He made a public apology, disbanded the whole outfit.
Oh, and it's all due to the masked man and Tonto. Why, without them, Well, where'd they go?
To help someone else out of trouble, probably. They never stay long in any one place.
Just long enough to set everything right. Oh, darling, things are going to be different from now on, aren't they? We're going to start facing our problems instead of hiding from them.
Thanks to Tonto and the Lone Ranger.
Hi-yo, Silver! Oh!
Fed up, I'm fed up. Fed up, fed up, fed up, fed up, fed up, I'm fed up. Fed up, fed up, fed up, I'm fed up, fed up, I'm fed up with the drugs. Fed up with the fake love, put a gun to my brain, go bang, I'm fed up with the drama. Got a creep for my mama, cause I don't think I'ma live too much longer. Fed up, fed up, fed up, fed up, fed up, I'm fed up. Fed up, fed up, fed up, I'm fed up, fed up, I'm fed up with the drugs. Fed up with the fake love, put a gun to my brain, go bang, I'm fed up with the drama. Got a creep for my mama, cause I don't think I'ma live too much longer. I'm fed up with the fame, I'm sick of reading my name in any other way that I intended. Fed up with all of these motherfuckers misunderstanding me. I'm fed up with the ones that try to say you a fan of me, but then they turn your back and motherfuckers are bad.
Hearts of law-abiding citizens in the name of Jake Beaudry. He struck without warning. Robbed, plundered, and murdered. Until finally his acts of outrage brought Marshal Dallas Deadeye Jones out of retirement to track him down. You've been riding hard, Tonto. Anything wrong?
Me plenty worried, Kimasabi. Silver City newspaper print report about Marshal Jones. It tell which way him come here.
Old-time Texas lawman says he'll arrest Jake Beaudry. Dallas Deadeye Jones riding here through Canyon Trail. That's all Beaudry needs to bushwhack Deadeye and kill him in his tracks. Unless we do something about it.
Me hear plenty tales about Deadeye. Say him draw fast and shoot straight.
Well, he used to, Tonto, but Dallas Jones is an old man now.
You know him, Kimasabi?
Only by reputation. But what I've heard about him is true. He's going to be a hard man to help.
Because him too proud?
Proud, fearless, mighty stubborn. We're going to handle him carefully so he won't resent our interference.
Maybe we have to trick him into letting us help him.
Maybe so. But we're going to help him whether he likes it or not. Tonto, look over there.
Two men ride very hard, Kimasabi.
Two men. But old Dallas Jones always rides alone. I understand all his years as a lawman. He's never had a deputy. I wonder if they could be... Just as I thought. It's Jake Beaudry and his partner, Tanner. Tonto, they're heading for that switchback.
Now, that best place for them to ambush old lawman when him ride by.
Not if we capture them before he rides by. Come on.
Jake, are you sure that old coot will be coming this way?
We read it in the paper, didn't we? Sure, I'm sure.
Well, I hope so. I hate to be wasting time here when we could be robbing that bank in Silver
Quit
City.
worrying about the bank. We'll take care of that. But first, we got to get rid of Dead-Eye Jones.
I don't see what makes him so all-fired important.
Oh, no? Well, he was the toughest lawman in the state of Texas till he took up ranching. Now that he's wearing a star again, we got to get him or he'll mess up our plans.
Just because old Jones bragged he was going to get us, don't say he will.
That's right. We're going to get him first. Then everything's going to be all right.
All right, you two. Drop your guns.
Take a look at that mask, Jake. What are you fellows trying to do, move in on our territory?
You can't stick us up, mister. We're outlaws ourselves.
I know you are, but we're not. Now drop your guns real easy like.
We take them to the Silver City jail, Kimasabi?
I have a better idea, Tonto. We'll leave them here for Dallas Jones to find and take in single-handed. He'll finish this job in a blaze of glory.
Let me tie him up.
All right, masked man. You shoot at me, you'll hit your Indian friend. And if you shoot at Tanner, I'll take care of the engine myself. Get your gun, Tanner.
Take cover! We caught between two fires, Kimasabi.
Hold your fire, Tonto. It's Dead-Eye Jones. He'll think we're shooting at him.
Tanner, let's get out of here.
That suits me.
Show yourselves, you mangy coyotes.
We'd better humor him.
Look, Kimasabi. Beaudry and Tanner may get away.
All right. If you won't come out, I'll drag you out. Reach, you buzzards. Oh, hiding your face behind a mask, huh?
This mask is on the side of the law and always will be. There go your outlaws.
Well, if them's the outlaws, what are you doing down here with them?
Kimasabi catch them for you. Now you spoil it.
Easy, Tonto.
Kimosabe, Tonto. I heard tell of a fella that wore a mask and worked for law and order. They say he used to be with the Texas Rangers. They always figured that was a campfire story.
It's true no matter what you think.
And prove it. When were the Texas Rangers sworn in as a law enforcement body?
1835 officially.
Who was the commanding officer?
Major R.N. Williamson.
What kind of horses do you ride? Quick now.
Me ride Scout, Kimasabi ride white stallion named Silver.
I see. Give me one of your bullets and no fumbling around, neither.
Pure silver, Marshal Jones.
Yeah, reckon you're right at that. So you know who I am, eh?
Every man in the West who fights for law and justice knows the name of Dead-Eye Jones.
You couldn't have heard much about me. You'd know I always play a lone hand. So what in tarnation are you sticking your nose in my business for?
We read in the papers that you were traveling this trail alone.
Jake Beaudry read paper too, Marshal.
Sure, Boulder reads the paper. That's why I got the editor to print that piece about me.
You do it on purpose so Beaudry try ambush you?
Dag nabbit, the easiest way to take a bad man is when he's bushwhacking. He's watching the trail instead of looking behind him.
How did you know where they'd ambush you? You're a stranger here in these parts.
I rode into Silver City 2 nights ago without letting on. After I made my deal with that editor feller, I rode the trail back and studied it. I could have had them skunks if it hadn't been for you butting in and losing them for me. Now we got to start all over.
We not lose them, you...
Just a minute, Tonto. Marshal, we're sorry we spoiled your plans. But Beaudry and Tanner are 2 to 1 against you, unless you accept our help.
That makes 4 to 1 against me. I reckon your intentions are good, all right. But the only thing you can do for me is get your horses and get before you ruin my reputation.
Come on, Tonto. Looks like we aren't wanted here.
We're almost out of canyon, Kimasabi. Why we stop?
We're not letting Marshal Jones play a lone hand against Beaudry and Tanner. His age would be no match for them.
He'll be plenty angry if him find out we still trying to help him.
We'll do it without him knowing it. You remember that mine we set up camp last year?
Ah.
We'll use that as headquarters. Come on.
We leave horses out of sight, Kimasabi.
We aren't staying here after all.
Somebody already camped here.
Not just somebody. Look at this. D.I.J. Deadeye Jones. This is the brand he uses at his ranch.
If him camp here, we better move someplace else before him come back.
Tonto, listen. Can't get to our horses from here, he'd see us.
We could hide in mine tunnel.
That's it. Come on. It's a dead end, Tonto. There's no way out except the way we came.
We trapped by man, we try to help.
At least we're close by in case he needs us.
Jones has got to be around here somewhere.
What about that masked man and the engine?
They were just a couple of drifters the way I figured. Chances are Jones ran him off. He ain't going to run us off because he's not going to live that long.
If we find him.
Don't worry. All we got to do is keep looking. We'll cross his trail someplace. Let's go.
I think he's gone.
Unless him try to play a trick on us.
That's a chance we'll have to take. Come on. He's gone, all right.
We get horses and follow him?
But at a safe distance. He mustn't know we're keeping an eye on him.
There ain't a sign of him nowhere.
Well, the earth couldn't just open up and swallow him. I wonder... Hey, I'll bet that's it.
You mean the earth did swallow him?
No, not exactly, but you remember a couple of days ago we rode by that old worn-out mine? I wonder if he's camping there.
That's quite a ride from here.
Well, what's the matter with you? You tired or something? Come on, let's go check that mine.
You sure you left the horses here?
I mean, sure. I mean, tie them to this bush.
A message for us. I said, stay away from me. You'll find your horses 2 miles north. Yours truly, Deadeye Jones. The old fox knew we were in the mine all the time.
Now we lose him.
Not for long. We've got a 2-mile walk for our horses. Come on.
Like I said, he is camping here.
Yeah, but where is he now?
So what do we care as long as we know he's coming back after his belongings? Dig a hole in that campfire.
What for?
Just do as I say and you'll see. Been saving his gunpowder to blow up the bank safe. I guess it's enough for both jobs. Next meal old Jones cooks, when the flame hits that, is going to blow him sky high. Now let's cover it up so he won't suspect nothing.
They're our horses. We won't have to walk so far after all.
Old lawman, turn them loose.
Whoa, Clover. That's a good boy.
Kimasabi, here's another note from Deadeye.
Don't follow me back to camp. I ain't going there no more. Deadeye Jones. Tonto, he's trying to trick us again.
You think him really go back to camp?
I'm sure of it. His belongings are back there.
Him hope no throw us off trail?
Yes, but it isn't going to.
I still don't see why we can't just wait till he shows up and plug him in the back.
Nah, that looks too much like murder. When that gunpowder blows him up, everybody will figure it's an accident. Nobody's going to suspect us anyway, because we're going to have a perfect alibi.
Who'd give us an alibi?
Everybody in Silver City's general store. Because that's where we're going to be when old Deadeye Jones blows himself to glory.
Tonto, look.
That Beaudry and Tanner.
They've been up around Deadeye's camp. Come on. How bad is it, Tonto?
Me not hurt bad, Kimasabi. Bullet just sting rib. You go after Outlaw.
Not until I'm sure you're all right.
Me just get breath knocked out. Kimasabi, maybe this fall from Jake Beaudry's saddle.
Gunpowder. I wonder if they planted the charge at the old marshal's camp.
We better get there quick.
Are you sure you can ride?
You not worry, Kimasabi. Me all right.
Good. Marshal Jones, get away from that fire. Beaudry and Tanner were there. I think they planted a powder charge.
If they had, I'd have spotted it. If you're trying to scare me, you don't scare that easy.
We're trying to save your life. If there's gunpowder under that fire, you'll be blown to bits.
As I told you before, and I'll tell you again for the last time, keep away from me and stay out of my business. Now clear out.
Marshal, don't do that.
Him still alive, Kimasabi?
Yes, but his eyes and face are badly burned. He needs a doctor. We'd better get him to Silver City right away.
I'm tired of the way things are going on around this town. I'm going to change everything.
Jake.
You just...
Jake, I just
How many
seen
times
something.
I got to tell you not to interrupt me when I'm talking?
Jake, this is something...
Shut up. Now, like I was saying, if Deadeye Jones wants me, why is he hiding in the hills? I'm right out here in the open, waiting for anybody to come and take me if they think they're man enough. And that includes any of you if you got gravel enough to back up your own game.
Jake, will you listen to me?
All right.
I just seen the masked man and that Injun helping old man Jones into Doc Washburn's place.
Jones? Ain't he dead?
Well, looks like the blast chewed him up plenty, but he can still navigate.
You better get over to the doctor's office and see what you can find out.
Fix me up quick, Doc, so I can go out and gun Jake Bowdry.
You won't be gunning anybody for a while, Marshal. Not until your eyes get well.
Ain't nothing wrong with my eyes. Leastways, I can see good enough to shoot.
Can you see this?
Sure, I can see it. It's something white, a handkerchief. Hey, what's going on
Relax,
here?
Marshal. The doc isn't going to hurt you. He's just going to bandage your eyes.
You know, I don't care if he does. Just so he leaves a slit in the bandage to see through. And hurry it up, because I'm heading for a showdown with Jake Bowdry.
You can't see well enough to go after Bowdry, and that's a fact.
Who says so? I can see you standing right out in front of me, plain as my hand before my face.
Jake, that old man may be seeing fuzzy, but he's talking sharp. Dead eyes and all, he's going to come gunning for you.
Seeing fuzzy? You mean his eyes ain't working so good?
Yeah.
Then I don't have nothing to worry about. Hey, Deadeye Jones coming gunning for me. Any of you heroes figure on lining up on his side? Just what I thought. I ain't never gunned no blind man, but if that's the way he wants it, that's the way he's gonna get it. Dead center.
He's coming out of the doc's office right now.
Let's go.
You could duck out, and he wouldn't know the difference. You can't see nothing.
He'll see less in a minute. This is our chance to get rid of him for good. Slip in that alley over there and cover me in case there's an accident. Make it play, Marshal! I'm right here in front of you! Ha-ha! Told you that time! Get in there! He got me!
You put them in jail, Kimasabi?
They're there for keeps, Tonto. Marshal, I think this coat fits you better than it does me.
Mister, you mean to tell me you caught them two sidewinders single-handed?
No, Marshal, you caught them single-handed the way you've always done. It's what the people of Silver City think, and it's what Bowdry and Tanner will think, too. When your eyes get well, I suggest you go into retirement again.
Ah, and this time for good, Marshal Jones.
And that's just what I'm going to do. I've been an ornery old fool. But I'll say this, when the time come when I had to have a deputy, I'm mighty glad it turned out to be you.
Thank you, Marshal Jones. Adios.
I just can't figure how you could shoot like that, you old wildcat. What did you do for eyes?
And the law works with eyes that see in the dark. Ain't you ever noticed the statue of Old Lady Justice? She works blindfolded, only now and then. She gets a little help from the Lone Ranger.
I'll Silver! Away! See something. Maybe just dead coyote.
Maybe. Let's find out. It's Will Jones. Shot in the back.
His father won the biggest ranches in territory, Kimasabi.
What's that by his hand?
Looked like mark him making dust before him dying.
Three-leaf clover.
Maybe him tried to leave clue to who killed him.
Looks like a brand. I've never heard of the cloverleaf brand before in this part of the country.
Marks of two horses, Kimasabi. Look close. Left rear shoe have two nails missing.
Yes, second and the fifth.
Not this one, Kimasabi. Must be Killer's horse have two nails missing.
Tonto, it doesn't add up. Cloverleaf in the dust, horse with a loose shoe. We better take Will home.
Will! Oh, hello, Matt. Come in. You seen that boy of mine around?
He ain't back yet, Mr. Yeomans. Left about 11 o'clock last night.
Said he was going to ride the range, see if he couldn't catch them rustlers.
And you let him go alone?
You know Will, Mr. Yeomans. He says he's going alone, he's going alone. Ain't no two ways about it.
That sounds like Will, all right. That reckless young rascal.
You wouldn't want him one bit different, Mr. Yeomans. You're just like him. Worse, maybe.
Matt, you know me too well. There goes that dead rat at piano again. You never have to worry where that younger one of mine is, Matt. But there's one thing you know. He's not out chasing rustlers. No, sir, not that one.
Oh, Tom's all right. He's just different, that's all.
He's not different. He's just spoiled. You know that he's been pampered and petted by his ma up till the day she died? Yes, sir. Come in.
Hello, Mr. Yeomans.
How are you, mister? Tonto?
Afraid we have bad news for you. Your son, Will, has been killed.
Talk fast, mister. What happened?
Put that gun away, Matt. I know this man. Who did it?
We not know.
We found Will's body in the rocks about 2 miles east of here. We brought Will home.
In the rocks? That's over at Ben Ransom's place, Mr. Yeomans.
Ransom?
I warned you he was rustling your cattle. Now he's killed your son.
Have every man on the place saddle up, Matt. Ben Ransom can't kill my boy and get away with it.
Just a minute, Mr. Yeomans. If Ben Ransom did kill your son, it's a job for the law, not for personal vengeance.
The law, mister? If I'd have had to wait for the law around here to settle my disputes, I'd have been wiped out 50 years ago. This is the law around here. Judge, jury, and executioner. And it's all wrapped up into one. I thank you for bringing my boy home. Now I'll thank you if you'll take your leave.
We're in your home, so we have no choice. If you attempt to take the law into your own hands, you'll be running into a great deal of trouble.
Get moving, both of you.
Come on, Tom.
I'll have the boys take care of Will, Mr. Yeomans.
Thank you, Matt.
Dad, that masked man is right.
You're not siding against your father, are you, son?
Well, no, but I think we should wait. Let the marshal take over.
Tom, he's your brother. He's dead. And you talking like this? Why, if it had been you instead of Will that was killed, why, he wouldn't have hesitated a minute. Tom, what is the real reason you want to wait for the marshal? Could it be you're afraid to face Ben Ransom? Well, is it?
You know that isn't true.
Well, here, prove it. Put this on. Here, man, I'm not going after Ben Ransom. Tom is. That is, unless you'd rather stay in and play that piano. Well?
Ben Ransom's going to town today, Tom. You'll find him there.
Matt, take a couple of men and go with him. I want him to show some spunk, but I don't want him hurt, do you understand?
Sure, boss.
Here they come. Unless I'm greatly mistaken, they're gunning for Ben Ransom. It's Tom Yeomans in the lead.
Him fine young man, Kimisaki. Not like him to gun for anybody.
And I like Tom. I'd hate to see him turn killer. Now they're heading for town. We better follow.
Ben!
Oh, hello, Joe. What's up? A little early in the morning for you to be tossed out of the saloon, isn't it?
Tom Yeoman's in town, Ben. Him and that foreman of theirs and 2 riders.
What about it, Joe?
They're gunning for you, Ben.
For me? Why? What did they allow I've done this time?
They found Will, dead, over in them rocks on your place. Shot in the back he was. They say you done it.
Where is Tom now, Joe?
Saloon. They were just having their last drink. Excepting Tom, he weren't drinking.
Thank you for telling me, Joe. I'll be waiting right here.
Terrible things, these fights. Terrible. I'll tell Tom, Ben. Terrible.
Take your Harper, boys.
Tom! Tom, I found Ben for you.
Where is he, Joe?
In the general store.
Well, let's go. No, stay here, Matt. Oliver. But your paw said if it's something I've got to do, I'll do it alone. Ransom, you killed my brother. You shot him in the back.
In the back, Tom? And you know I didn't do it. If I had cause to kill your brother, I'd have met him face to face. This ain't you, Tom. It's your old man. He put you up to it.
I'm giving you a chance, Ben. Reach for your gun.
like that, wouldn't you, Tom? Then you could call it self-defense. Shooting a man in hot blood is one thing, but killing him in cold blood, that's something else. Some men can do it. Others are killers. But you ain't, Tom. You ought to be grateful you ain't. Take that gun of yours now. Give it to me.
Tom! Put away your gun. This isn't right and you know it. If you don't, you'll regret it the longest day of your life.
Thanks, stranger. I don't know who you are, but you just saved a life. Maybe two of them.
Hey, Tom. What happened, boy? Did you get cold feet? Yalla, that's what he is, yalla.
You hear that? Jeering at a man because he's too decent to commit murder.
Kimasabi, look there. A hoof print with 2 nails missing from shoe. That same hoof print we find in the body.
The horse that made it came from Yeoman's own ranch.
One of those 4 men killed Will Yeoman's.
Couldn't have been Tom. He was riding Will's horse.
Maybe one of ranch hands.
We'll find out before the day is over. Come on. Stable.
We ride past. Tom and others not back yet.
So much the better. I want to be in that stable when they get back. Let's go.
Listen, them come back.
Tom? Did you gun him down, boy, did you?
Let's go in the house, Dad. I want to talk to you alone. Put up my horse, Matt.
Sure, Tom.
Well, did you or didn't you?
Come here now, Kima. Take cover.
Be in town's boots right now. This old man laying into him. Can't you just hear it?
So you admit it. You backed down from Ben Ransom. Why, you cringing little pup. Had 'em all laughing at you, calling you yellow. For 50 years I've been around here. No man ever dare call the yeoman's yellow.
Well, this is the first and the last time, Dad. You won't have to worry about it anymore. I'm leaving.
Leaving? What do you mean?
Just that. I don't belong here. I never did.
You mean you're running out?
Call it what you like. What you want's another Will. Well, I'm not another Will, and I'll never be another Will. You call me a coward just because I couldn't shoot a man down in cold blood. If that's being a coward, then that's what I am. Sure, Will could have done it. Will could do anything. He could ride a wild horse, he could bulldog a steer, he could shoot a man down without blinking an eye. Well, I can't.
I'll say goodbye to you later, Tom. Tom, if I've seemed to have been harsh with you, I'm sorry, but it's for your own sake, believe me. I'm an old man, and when I die, this whole ranch, one of the largest spreads in this territory, it's all gonna be yours, and you've got to be tough enough to run it. This is a rough, tough country, and you've got to be just as tough as it is.
Like Will, you mean? Live by the gun and die by the gun.
Hold your tongue.
I've held my tongue long enough. You and Will are 50 years behind the times. The law's come to this country, and the time for killing's over. But you and I will never see eye to eye on that. Will we, Dad?
All right, get out, leave, go on. But let me tell you something. Don't think that you'll get one of your piano-playing hands on a penny of my money, because you won't. Do you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you.
Yes, Mr. Yeomans.
I want you up the house, Matt, right now. You too, Al. Sam, drop everything you're doing. Hurry up now.
Come on, hurry up. When he says right now, he means right now.
There's plenty narrow escape, Kimasabi.
Let's find that horse with 2 nails missing from his left hind shoe.
Here, read this. Go on, Matt, read it. Read it out loud. I want Al and Sam to be witness.
I hereby will and bequeath my entire estate, same being the J.Y. Ranch and all its stock, to my faithful friend and employee, Matt Thorne. Mr. Yeomans, me, the whole ranch? I just can't let you do it, sir.
I know you'd feel that way about it, Matt, and try to talk me out of it. But that's the way I want it, and that's the way it's going to be. Here, you boys sign on the dotted line down here, will you? Right here. You know, Matt, you and I have been friends for 40 years. I can remember when you came to work for me, nothing more than a boy. And it was your sweat and toil just the same as mine. It helped make this spread what it is today. No, I can't see it any other way, Matt.
Just ain't nothing I can say, Mr. Yeomans.
No nails missing here.
This one all right. This Sam's horse.
Little boy. Tonto, look at this. 2 nails missing. Matt Thorne's horse.
Him killed Jeff Yeoman's son?
It looks that way.
But why?
Maybe Will Yeoman stumbled into something important. You'd better ride into town and bring the marshal back to our camp.
What do you do, Kingsamy?
I'm going to search the ranch and then go over to the bunkhouse and look through Matt Thorne's gear. Maybe I'll find more evidence against him.
You go alone?
Don't worry. They're all up at the ranch house. I'll manage. Ride fast.
Light up, Al. Yeah. Looks like you're weighing yourself a right big pot, Matt. No fooling. The whole blame ranch, just for me. His bosom pal. Won't have to rustle no more cattle now. Count they all belong to us. Yeah, it's a good thing I plugged Will before I got a chance to tell the old man about that rustling of ours. There's only one catch to it. The old man changed his will once, he can do it again. Unless what? Dead men can't change their wills, Al.
Dead men? You mean old man Yeomans? You think of everything, don't you, Matt? Not quite everything. Back up real easy like and raise your hands.
Good work, Sam. He's out cold.
Get him over to the barn. His horse ought to be around here someplace. We'll take him over to Ransom's place and dump him there with a couple of holes in him. Good thing them bunkhouse walls is thick. The old man didn't hear the shooting.
Looks like he's dead.
Nah, he's still breathing, but not for long. Come on, let's saddle up.
Go, Silver.
No shooting here.
The boss will hear it.
The masked man will talk, Matt. Come on, let's saddle up. Hold it. By the time we saddle up, that white stallion will be miles away.
He heard everything. He's onto us. He knows everything, Matt.
Much good it'll do him. It's his word against ours. And who'd take the word of a masked man? You know the boss ordered him off the place this morning, don't you?
I sure do.
Well, then stop your worrying. We're in the clear. Tomorrow morning, I'll take care of everything.
Tomorrow morning?
Tomorrow morning, Al. You're gonna come riding in from the range and say you saw Ben Ransom and a couple of his boys out at the rocks, branding some yearlings. You got that?
Why?
Never mind why. Do as I say. Leave the rest to me.
It's all right, Tonto. Just untie me.
You hurt?
Not badly. Matt Thorne got me before I found what I was looking for. But I heard plenty. If it wasn't for Silver, I'd been dead now. Where's the marshal?
Him on way to court, Kimasabi. Him be gone 2 days. Me leave word. Him come later.
Well, there may not be time. Matt Thorne is planning to murder Jeff Yeomans. Where and when, I don't know.
We warn Yeomans?
Well, it's no use. He wouldn't believe a word against Matt Thorne.
Then what we do?
Tonto, I think Tom will listen. We'll talk to him in the morning. Let's get some rest.
The man that did this will pay for it, Will.
Mr. Yeomans, I just seen Ben Ransom and a couple of his boys out at the rocks, burning some yearlings. Looks like our stop.
This is our chance to get him, Mr. Yeomans. We can catch him red-handed.
You're right, Matt. Mount up. Dad, you said you were leaving, Tom. You'd better go back to the ranch and get your things.
Where's your father, Tom?
I tried to talk to him, but he wouldn't listen to reason. They've gone after Ransom now.
Did Matt go with him?
Matt, Al, and Sam. Al said that he saw Ben and his boys out at the rocks, branding cattle.
Rocks? He just rode past those rocks. There's no one out there. Tom, this is a trap to murder your father.
Murder Dad?
I'm sure of it. I'll explain as we ride.
I thought you said Ben and his men were out there branding cattle, Al.
That's right, Mr. Yeomans.
There's no sign of them, Matt. Not even the smoke from the branding fires.
Let's keep riding, Mr. Yeomans. Just a mite farther on, wasn't it, Al? Yep. Right around the next bend.
Let's go. There's no one here, Matt. Matt! Get off your horse.
Al, give this gun.
What's the meaning of this, Matt?
Like you said, Mr. Yeomans, it was my sweat and toil, as much as yours, that made the JY spread what it is today. Now that I got it, I ain't gonna take no chances on losing it.
But, Matt...
I'm making that will of yours final and binding, Mr. Yeomans.
I'll get going.
Tom, my boy. Are you hurt bad?
I'll be all right, Dad.
I'm an old fool. Just a fool.
Mr. Yeomans, now that Matt and his boys are safely in the marshal's hands, I can show you how Matt Thorne and not Ben Ransom have been stealing your cattle.
We find this branding iron in Matt's cabinet in bunkhouse.
As you can see, this brand is in the form of a 3-leaf clover.
Same as we find in dust my boy's body.
Now watch what happens when I place the brand over the JY brand.
That's the slickest thing I've ever seen.
Matt Thorne had the cloverleaf brand registered in his own name. For months has been secretly changing the brand on the JY cattle.
Them drive cattle over mountain and sell them.
See, Mr. Yeomans, your son Will found out about this. It cost him his life.
That's what Will tried to tell us when they make cloverleaf and dust just before him die.
Looks to me like I owe my neighbor Ben Ransom an apology. And above that, son, I owe you one, too. I've been an old fool, just an old fool. That's about as plain as I can say it. Tom, I hope you change your mind, decide to stay around, because, son, I need you.
I've been waiting a long time to hear you say that, Dad.
Sure. Sure, I'll stay.
Mr. Yeomans, Tom, good luck.
Thank you.
Adios.
I wish you would have stayed around a little longer, Dad. He won't wait around, son. He won't let you even thank him for what he does. He's the Lone Ranger.